Bill, can you tell me, how has the payments industry changed over the last couple of years?
Yeah, I mean, I guess you got to look at, like any business, there's a number of things that are impacting innovation. Things have to move faster. There's higher security standards. There's regulatory processes. Marketplaces are getting much more global in nature of how they interconnect across the planet. Fintechs are coming in and innovating and driving businesses to do things differently, right? So all those things are putting pressure on payments to keep up with the pace of business. And today there's a lot of friction in payments, lack of transparency. There really isn't an effective global payment system that reduces that complexity for how these businesses want to innovate. And that's what's driving all the change that you're seeing today.
How has cross-border payments changed, especially now we're in this interconnected digital payment world?
Well, cross-border payments are growing extremely fast. And if you look at the way payments typically work today, it's a series of local payment schemes which create a lot of frictions for how global businesses want to work. It's hard to have transparency and security in how you move money across the globe. It takes a lot of time to do that. All these businesses are speeding up. They're all getting more interconnected, and the payment systems have to be able to support that as well.
Excellent. Speaking of local payment methods or LPMs, can you tell us, how have you guys looked at kind of streamlining that process to ultimately create an ecosystem for all?
Well, if you look at the way Visa has built their business over the last 50 years, it is a global payments network that facilitates commerce across the globe. It's 20,000 financial institutions, it's 55 million merchants, it's over 3 billion consumers and small businesses, all interconnected to do about $15 trillion of commerce on an annual basis. So that system has been around at a scale, it's interconnected globally, it's just suited to innovate for how businesses want to work across the globe today.
Can you tell me a bit more about Visa Direct and how Visa is effectively leveraging its incredible network to improve the lives of millions of people around the world?
You think about the Uber driver that's got to put gas in his car and get a tire changed, or needs money for groceries, or you think about the merchant that needs to get paid for inventory or to make payroll. The immediacy of payments, the immediacy of being able to do the payouts of these things, right? It's for small businesses especially, it's all about cash flow. It's all about meeting the needs of their everyday business and what they need to support. And you look at today, many times it takes multiple days for them to receive the proceeds even from the sales that they make on a daily basis. And so improving the cash flow by speeding up the way payments are made to small businesses, it's a huge benefit in how the world is run. You look at that Visa network that I'm describing, they've interconnected all of those merchants and financial institutions and cardholders, right? So the money flows for purchases, like you go out and make a swipe and I pick up this cup of coffee and do it. Now what we've done is, like, every single one of those endpoints, those consumer and small business endpoints, the network goes the other direction, right? And so now, I can be paid, via that same mechanism, that I was paying with, right? So now we've got all these, cardholders that are interconnected in this giant, payout capability that allows it to, basically support all of these various use cases that are cropping up, right? The gig economy, the Uber drivers, the Lyft drivers, the black taxi guys, the gaming payouts, insurance claims, marketplace, supplier payments, all of that type of stuff, right? And so it's kind of just fascinating how it all interconnects. It can go left, it can go right, and so that's what we're doing. And then we added Earthport to this thing, which, if you look at the number of banked individuals across the globe, a combination of Earthport, the ability to push to bank accounts and leveraging ACH and RTP, plus our ability to push to bank accounts, through cards to consumers and small businesses, we basically cover virtually all of the banked individuals across 200 countries in the globe. Right? And so it just facilitates commerce in a whole new way. It's faster, there's the security protocols, the liquidity, the transparency of the payment, it's all connected through this single integrated network now. Right? So that's the whole gist of the thing.
Speaking of that acquisition of Earthport, what does it mean for the banks around the world and even the end users?
Well, essentially it means that, through a single connection. Right? So you take global players that want to move money across the planet. Today they have 5, 10, 15, 20 different payment schemes that they have to try to accommodate. Think about their back office, their technology, their accounting, their liquidity, transparency and tracking of the payments. It's all really, really complex. Now with a network of this size and scale and reach, they can connect one time and they can leverage that entire network, to simplify their payment operations, to improve their customer experience, to leverage the speed and the security of the network. It all comes together in a much simpler way that lets them focus on their business versus focus on, their back office and complicated things about moving money around the planet.